Let's talk about being worthy of abundance. Did you know that we're the only species on the planet who measures our worth and also finds it lacking? Since we are so inclined to measure our worth and we don't have a sense that we are enough because we usually find it lacking, this has us needing to augment our worth. We augment it through struggle. I often hear people say, I worked hard for where I am. I deserve it. I gave up a lot to get where I am. I worked my fingers to the bone. I sacrificed so much to achieve all of this, and it was worth it. What a shame. What a waste. When you have a belief that you have to work hard to have money, success, or abundance, then you will have to work hard for your money, your success, and your abundance. We work hard. We sacrifice. We struggle to prove our worth, our deserving, and validity in the world. We try to create success through struggle, to compensate for our feelings of lack, our feelings of unworthiness, undeserving, and being undervalued. If all of your striving is on top of a belief at the core of you that you are not worthy, deserving, good enough, or valid in your desires or as a person, then it's going to be a longer road and with more challenges and a lot more struggle and stress to achieve what you're wanting. Trying to move forward to create abundance while carrying a boulder on your back called compensation for not being worthy or good enough makes things much more difficult and causes a lot more struggle. And it only brings you more of that feeling of not being good enough or worthy. Even if you succeed in the most glorious ways, become one of the fastest growing businesses, most well-known expert, or highly sought after speaker, or whatever it is for you, you will cross that line and it still won't dissolve those feelings of not being worthy or good enough. This is because when you achieve something to compensate for a sense of lacking in your worth, then that achievement is a reminder that is only there because you are not good enough, worthy, or deserving. I have seen this time and time again with my clients. Until you revise that underlying belief that you are less than, that you are not worthy, that you are not good enough or deserving, until you revise all of that, you will not be able to have what you want with ease, without that struggle and without that self-doubt. When you revise it, then you can achieve those amazing successes and really enjoy them. And this also has the added benefit of coming more easily and with more fun than you can imagine. This is because when you have more attention on just accomplishing what you set out to do, there's so much more freedom in the space there and play versus when you have to split your attention a good portion on how do I feel worthy, deserving, good enough to do this? Am I the right person for this? Can I really do this? I'm not sure if I'm capable. And then having also split your attention on I really want to do this thing. I really want to complete this task or this project. Even at the subconscious level, having part of you trying to augment your worth and compensate for some perceived lack, that takes a lot of energy, both emotionally and physically and mentally, to be managing that while also trying to create your business, excel in your career, care for your family, and to make money. All of this is not necessary. There's an easier way than trying to compensate for your work. You need to revise those deeply rooted beliefs about yourself. I'm going to say it again. We are the only species that measures our self-worth and finds it lacking. There's not a golden retriever out there questioning if it's worthy to have another treat. These are the sweetest, most loving dog breeds. They do not flinch when you ask them if they want another treat. They don't say, oh, I don't know, I've already had 3. What will the other dogs say who don't have treats? And they don't say, well, what about the cat? Will it despise me if I have another treat? No, they just take the treat and enjoy it. They'd take a couple more if they could. There's a few things I want you to consider when looking at success, money, or abundance. I'm going to talk about this next piece through the lens of money, because money really amplifies how we feel about our deserving, our worth, and our validity. So money is not your security or your freedom. You are. Money can serve you best when it serves those ends, but it's not an end in of itself. And how many people do you know who have a lot of money yet don't take the time to enjoy themselves? Because they're so worried about losing the money they have that they can't stop working. They never take vacations. And if they do, they're always working on the vacation. They're never really enjoying themselves. And there are plenty of people with a lot of money who do not feel secure and do not feel free. And there are people who don't have a lot of money who actually feel free and secure. So money is not actually what gives you security or freedom. It can certainly serve you best working towards those, but it's not an end in and of itself. It will not automatically give you those experiences. Money is not what keeps you stuck or lets you move. How many times have you heard about lottery winners who go bankrupt in 2 or 3 years of winning? It's not the money. It's their beliefs around money that keeps them stuck. How many of you have seen those young celebrities who skyrocket to fame and then totally trash their lives in just a few short years? I know a lot of people with money who will not allow themselves to do the things they really want to do, like take a vacation, start a business, travel the world. You probably do too. And you probably know a lot of people who don't have a lot of money who seem to always do the things they want to do. It just works out somehow. It's really a belief that we often have that keeps us stuck. Now, I say that not as an excuse, because an excuse tends to make us wrong. It's the idea that you have to have enough money, and some people never have enough money no matter how much money they have. It's just a function of beliefs. It's just a construct we're living in. I say this often, I'm going to say it again because it's so important. Your worth is immeasurable and eternal. Money cannot add to it or take away from it, nor can the lack of money. For those of you who have children, or you were a child yourself once, or maybe you've seen one on TV, how many babies do you know who are born worthless? They have no job, they have no income. Does that make them worthless? No. And neither are you. When we don't feel worthy, we try to augment our worth through struggle and sacrifice. As I mentioned earlier, people start to say, I worked really hard and it was worth it, I sacrificed. That's one way we see it. Another way is that people will list out everything they did in a day, from every meeting they went to, every errand they ran, every decision they made, and they'll lament about how taxing it was. They do this as a way to show they were busy, being productive, useful, worthy, and valid in their actions and choices. Yet they don't need to do that. Their existence is enough. Yet there is some belief at their core that compels them to do this in a way of proving their worth, deserving validity. They don't have a sense that they are enough just as they are. Another example is when you give away your energy, time, and attention to the detriment of your well-being as a way of showing that you are good enough and that you're deserving. When you sacrifice your time, energy, and attention for others, it means you're a really good person and deserving, right? No, none of that matters. None of this makes you a more deserving person or a better person in the eyes of the universe and all that is. Your existence is enough. There's nothing you need to do, be, or produce to be a valid, worthy, and deserving human being. Again, your worth is immeasurable and eternal. No amount of money can add to it or take away from it. Neither can the lack of money. Because the universe doesn't see you as a work in progress, as you've got to handle this thing and that thing over there and then get better at these other things. The universe doesn't do that. The universe sees you as so incredibly beautiful and precious. You have no idea. From the universe's point of view, there is no end to the good things that it wants for you. There is no need to prove anything. There's no need to be the best version of yourself, like a degree or certificate from university. Is a college graduate more deserving than a kindergartner? No. The best version of you is already here. Will you grow and expand? Of course you will. But the universe is not waiting for you to. Money and abundance and success is one way the universe wants to love you. It's one way it wants to bless you. The issue is that many of us have such a small opening for which we can let blessings in because we don't have a real sense of our true worth and deserving. So we keep it shut down, we keep it repressed or locked away. Anything you can do to slightly open that aperture, that opening just a bit more, benefits all of us. When you have a real sense of your true worth, it's not arrogant. It's actually a really lovely thing to be around. This is why it's so nice to be in nature. Nature doesn't do this. And when you have a real sense of your worth, then that noise in your head and in your life can quiet down. You have more space, more time, and more peace doing the things you need to do and the things you enjoy doing. You're not trying to compensate for something. When we try to manifest or create on top of a fear that you are not good enough or worthy or deserving, this will make manifesting abundance a struggle, and it can take a really long time. Are you wanting to have less stress and struggle in your life, and at the same time being able to have more abundance? Do you want to revise these beliefs that have you question your worth, your deserving, and your right to be here? Good news is, whatever limiting beliefs or patterns you have around money, they are all revisable. To learn more, click the button below to pick a time for us to connect and chat more.